Hey everyone, and welcome to the show. Have you ever thought about how the pressure to be perfect could actually drive someone to do something terrible?
Hmm.
That's kind of what we're looking at today as we take a deep dive into Bright Girl.
Okay.
It's a mystery thriller, and it will keep you on the edge of your seat right to the very end.
Sounds good.
If you love unraveling secrets and, just getting totally hooked on a plot, then be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives like this one.
Yeah, definitely.
The book follows Detective Shelby Reed as she investigates this really shocking murder
Oh, wow.
of Whitney Chandler,
Okay.
this seemingly perfect high school student who's found dead under some very mysterious circumstances. And
Interesting.
you can find a link to the book in the description if you want to follow along.
Yeah.
But be warned,
Okay.
underneath this perfect town, there's like a bunch of secrets and lies that could totally shatter everything you thought you knew.
I like it already.
Yeah,
So the author sets up this contrast between the town's perfect image and then this darkness that's lurking underneath.
right.
It's like a classic thing in thrillers, but it's always so effective,
It is.
at creating this sense of unease
Totally.
and foreshadowing
Exactly.
all the bad stuff that's going to happen.
Yeah, so we're introduced to Locust Grove,
Okay.
and it's this picture-perfect small town with its, Friday night lights,
Uh-huh.
football games,
Yeah.
and these seemingly innocent rivalries,
Right.
And then bang,
Well,
this
yeah.
popular student is found dead at the bottom of a pool.
Oh my gosh.
And suddenly that perfect image is shattered.
Wow, it really draws you in right away.
It does.
And then as we go deeper into the investigation, we realize that everyone in Locust Grove has something to hide.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
One.
Yeah. And then we have Detective Shelby Reed
Okay.
leading the charge, and she knows a thing or two about hidden pain.
Oh, really?
She's dealing with the trauma of her own husband's murder.
Wow.
It's a case that still haunts her.
Oh, gosh.
And it really makes you think, how could someone carrying that kind of baggage even, approach a case like this?
That's a good question.
Right.
So the author made an interesting choice there with the character,
Yeah.
adding this complexity to her.
Uh-huh.
Does she become more empathetic because of her own loss?
Right.
Or is she just laser focused on finding the killer so another family doesn't have to go through the same thing?
That's what I was thinking, too.
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
Right.
And then there's her new partner, Detective Jesper Erickson,
Okay.
and he's almost like her opposite.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
charming,
yeah.
cracks jokes.
Yeah.
But you can tell he's got his own stuff going on, too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like that.
So their dynamic is one of the things that makes this book so captivating.
I can see that.
You've got Shelby, who's guarded and haunted by her past, and then you have Erickson, who's this, carefree
Right.
facade
Yeah.
almost. And it makes you wonder if they could even work together,
Right.
let alone solve this case.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's look at the crime itself.
Okay.
Whitney Chandler, star student, seemingly perfect life,
Yeah.
found dead at the bottom of a pool after a high school football game,
Oh, my God.
is ripped from the headlines,
Ah.
and right away suspicion falls on everyone close to her.
Of course.
So you've got Bobby Garza, her boyfriend,
Okay.
the star athlete who immediately becomes a suspect.
Makes sense.
But then there's Sky Whitney's rival,
Oh.
who seems more interested in becoming valedictorian
Wow.
than actually mourning her classmate.
Oh, my God.
And we have Daniel Mendez,
Okay.
this student who is secretly involved with Whitney and had access to her, shall we say, extracurricular activities.
Interesting.
So it's interesting how the author uses these initial suspects to really explore different parts of high school.
I see that.
Yeah, and all the pressures that come with it.
Yeah.
We see athletics,
Mhm.
the competition for grades,
Right.
and the hidden world of teen relationships.
Yeah.
All through the lens of this murder investigation.
I like it.
It's not just like a whodunit,
Yeah.
you know?
Right.
It's a commentary on the dark side of being a teenager
Mm.
and all the secret and lies that can happen even in an innocent environment.
Yeah, for sure.
And then just when you think you're starting to understand everything,
Yeah.
the story throws a curveball.
Okay.
We find out that Whitney was secretly dealing prescription drugs.
What?
Plot twist.
Wow, that changes everything.
It does.
Now it's not just about high school drama. It could be something way bigger.
Exactly. We're talking maybe even a criminal underworld, and who knows how deep that goes. Then to make things even more complicated,
Oh, no.
Shelby and Erickson find these economist mums in Whitney's locker.
Really?
Yeah. Suggesting a secret admirer, maybe even someone who's obsessed with her.
That's creepy.
It is.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, someone throws a brick through Shelby's window with a note trying to blame Bobby for everything.
Oh, wow. So someone is trying to mislead the investigation.
It seems that way.
But why?
That is the question.
Are they trying to protect the real killer, or is there something else going on here?
Right.
It's like all these little things are pieces of a bigger puzzle.
Yeah, and you're trying to put it all together.
Exactly.
And just when you think we're going to focus on the adults in Whitney's life,
Okay.
like Tom Long, the creepy quiz bowl coach, or Damian Mendez, Daniel's father, who has a shady past
Yeah.
and a questionable alibi.
Okay.
The story throws another curveball.
Another one.
Remember those red fibers that they found on Whitney's body?
Yeah.
Well, it turns out they point to a Belmore prep staff member.
Oh, wow.
Because all of the faculty and staff got those complimentary red jerseys.
That's a big clue.
It is.
So now anyone who works at the school could be involved.
It really makes you question everything.
It does. And
If we
people
don't
want
think-
this book is so addictive.
It is.
You're always trying to stay one step ahead
Yep.
of the investigators and the author.
Right.
But just when you think you're getting close to the truth, something else happens and throws you off course.
Really.
Welcome back to our deep dive into Bright Girl.
So last time
Yeah.
we left off with those red fibers pointing to someone at Belmore Prep.
A staff member, right?
Staff member.
Like, that's a total game changer.
It is.
Makes you think about everyone we've met so far in a whole new light.
It really does.
Like, are we looking at the same people, same town, but totally different now?
Yeah, and Principal Wheeler,
Oh, yeah.
you know, we saw him as just this, like, concerned educator.
Right, right.
Now he's looking more and more suspicious.
Definitely.
Especially when we think back to, like, how he kept talking about how expensive college is.
Uh-huh.
Well, that takes on a whole new meaning.
Totally.
When we find out about his secret gambling habit.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Right.
Wow, the author is good.
So good.
Like, they put that detail in early on, and
Right.
you don't even think anything of it.
Right.
And then, bam,
Yeah.
it becomes so important
It
later.
all makes sense.
It shows how desperate he is.
Oh.
Like, he's trapped
Yeah.
in this web of his own making.
Oh, yeah.
And he will do anything to protect himself and his image.
It makes you think about all the pressure to be successful
Yeah.
and what people will do
Right.
to keep up a perfect image.
Even if it means, like, sacrificing who they are,
Totally.
like their morals.
Yeah. And it's not even just about the money for him, is it?
No, I don't think so.
There's something more.
Yeah, like, he needs to control everything.
Yes.
Control how everyone sees him.
And how the story plays out.
Exactly. He's manipulating people,
Uh-huh.
planting evidence,
Information.
all to make sure the investigation goes the way he wants.
I remember how he uses those favors
Oh, yeah.
to keep Tom Long in check.
The quiz bowl coach?
Yeah, like under his thumb. Like, it makes you wonder what other secrets are hidden at that school.
Seriously, right?
Yeah.
So now we have this added layer
Yeah.
of the power dynamics, like how someone in a position of authority can really take advantage of other people.
Totally. And make them do things they wouldn't normally do.
Yeah, and it makes you question everyone's motives. Like,
Yeah.
is anyone at that school truly innocent?
I don't know.
Right.
Speaking of not innocent,
Okay.
the betrayal from Shane,
I know.
the forensic technician,
So messed up.
I know, it was like a punch to the gut.
Totally. You think he's on the side of good.
Right.
And then
Uh-huh.
he's been giving information to the press.
Yeah,
Could have ruined everything.
totally.
It reminds you that even in a system that's supposed to be about justice,
Uh-huh.
there are still people who will take advantage
Right.
for their own gain.
What do you think his motive was?
I don't know. Maybe greed.
Maybe.
Maybe power.
Or maybe something even more personal.
Yeah, it really makes you think.
This is where the story gets really good.
Okay, tell me.
You're constantly trying to figure out who to trust,
Yeah.
who's
yeah.
doing what,
Uh-huh.
and what their goal is.
Okay.
And just when you think you're getting a handle on all the players,
Yeah.
there's another twist.
Ugh, the author is killing me. So
So-
what happens?
Well, remember, Will?
Yeah, Shelby's new love interest.
Right.
Okay.
Well, he's the one who told Shane about the investigation.
No way.
Yeah,
So he's the leak.
he is.
Wow, I did not see that coming.
It's brilliant, though, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Because it shows how
yeah.
personal relationships can be used against you.
Exactly, and how trust can be a weapon.
And for Shelby,
Oh my gosh, I know.
on top of everything else she's dealing with,
Yeah,
to have someone she cares about betray her like that,
it's a lot.
that's heartbreaking.
So how does she even function? Like, with all that emotional baggage and this huge case to solve?
I think the author is trying to show us
What's that?
that life isn't simple.
Right.
It's messy.
Yeah,
People are complicated.
totally.
And their motives are never straightforward.
I like that.
It makes it so much more real.
It does, even with all the twists and turns.
Right?
Okay, so remind me, what were we talking about before?
We were talking about the betrayal.
Right, Will and
Yeah.
Shayna and Shelby.
Yeah, so then they're at the abandoned Kmart,
Okay.
and they finally catch up with Daniel.
Oh, yeah, what happens?
It's a tense scene.
I've
We're like
read.
waiting for something to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But then we see this different side of Daniel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he obviously cared about Whitney,
Oh,
and he wants to protect her memory.
that's sweet.
And he ends up giving them a crucial piece of information.
What's that?
He tells them who Whitney's supplier is Lightbulb Moment
Yeah.
for Shelby and Erickson,
Totally.
and it sends them down a path they totally didn't expect.
I love that.
It brings the focus back to Belmore Prep.
Okay.
But now they're looking at the faculty in a whole new way.
Makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
Like who's hiding something
Right.
underneath their normal everyday life.
Makes you think about how well you really know anyone.
It does, right?
Even people you see all the time.
Exactly. So then we start digging deeper
Okay.
into the lives of the faculty,
Uh-huh.
and we learn some interesting stuff.
Like what?
Well, like Mrs. Long,
Tom Long's wife, okay.
she seems like just,
Yeah.
a simple, supportive wife at first.
Right.
But
Then.
we realize she's really observant.
Okay.
Like she sees her husband's flaws,
Mm.
and she might even be hiding some secrets of her own.
That's interesting.
And then Tom Long himself.
The creepy quiz bowl coach.
Yeah. He just gets weirder.
Oh,
The more we
no.
learn about him and Whitney.
So what was their relationship really like?
That's the question, right?
Oh, yeah. Was he actually looking out for her, or was it something else?
Exactly.
Hmm.
And then there's Damien Mendez,
Okay.
still lurking in the background.
Yeah.
Rough exterior,
Uh-huh.
history of violence,
Right.
disappears when things get tough.
Yeah.
His alibi is shaky at best,
Okay.
and he's so hostile towards Shelby and Erickson.
So is he involved, or is he a distraction?
I don't know. That's what's so good about this book. It
Yeah.
keeps you guessing until the very end.
I can't wait to find out what happens.
Me too. Okay, so we're back for the final part of our Bright Girl deep dive.
It's been a wild ride.
It has. We've uncovered so many secrets.
Seriously, so many suspects.
I know. And now it's time to find out who really killed Whitney Chandler.
I can't wait.
Me too. So last time we were talking about how
Yeah.
we had all these suspicions about Tom Long
Uh-huh.
and Damien Mendez and even Mrs. Long.
Right, but something about Damien being the supplier just didn't feel right.
I know. It's like
Yeah.
he seemed too impulsive,
Yeah, too, like, volatile.
to be running a whole drug operation.
Exactly. Like, it didn't really add up.
And then there's Tom Long.
Yeah.
His alibi totally falls apart when his wife says he got home earlier than he said.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
And plus, we know that Principal Wheeler was using those favors to control him.
Could that be how he was pulling the strings?
Like,
Maybe that was his leverage?
It really makes you think about Wheeler and his need for control.
It does. Like, he needed everything to be perfect.
I know. Like, he wanted to protect Belmore's image no matter what.
Even if it meant hurting other people?
Right.
Wow.
But here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Remember those anonymous mums?
In Whitney's locker? Yeah.
Well, one of them had a handwritten message.
Really?
Yeah, and they couldn't trace it back to anyone.
That's creepy.
It's so creepy.
Like someone who knew her well enough to write a note,
right.
but didn't want anyone to know it was them.
Exactly. And while all of this is happening,
Yeah.
Will drops a bombshell.
Oh, no. What now?
He tells Shelby that Shane's been talking to the press.
No way.
Yeah, the forensic technician, remember?
Oh, my gosh. So he really was the leak.
He was... That's
Can't believe it.
crazy, right?
Totally. Like, you think you can trust someone, and then, bam!
They stab you in the back.
Seriously, it really makes you question everything and everyone.
But you know what?
What's that?
Finding that out was actually a good thing.
Really? How?
Because it leads Shelby and Erickson to a huge breakthrough.
Okay.
They're watching the security footage from the hotel.
Where the conference was.
Yeah, and guess what?
Yeah.
They see Principal Wheeler leaving Friday night.
No way.
Not Saturday morning, like he said.
So he lied.
He lied. It completely destroys his alibi.
Wow.
And it proves he was involved in Whitney's death.
That's huge.
It is. And then there's this crazy car chase.
Oh, wow.
As they try to get to Wheeler's house before he disappeared.
So much tension.
I know. And then they find
Yeah.
Whitney's phone and purse.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, and a trash bag at his house.
So he did it.
Yeah, there's no question now.
It's kind of a relief to finally know the truth.
It is, but it's also really sad,
Yeah.
to think about what he did and why.
So what happens next?
They bring him in for questioning.
Okay.
And it's intense. Like, you can see his whole facade crumbling.
And he confesses.
He does.
Wow. So what was his motive?
It's like this combination of money problems
Yeah.
and needing to look perfect.
Right. Like he gambled everything away.
His family's future, his reputation,
Oh,
every
he saw Whitney as his way out.
Yeah, he thought he could use her drug operation to fix everything.
That's messed up.
It is.
But it was more than just the money, wasn't it?
No, it was like this obsession with Belmore prep.
Right.
He couldn't handle the thought of any scandal.
He was willing to do anything to protect the
He
school.
even hurt a student.
It's
It
chilling.
really is. But in the end,
Yeah.
Shelby and Erickson get justice.
Sure.
Their determination to find the truth
Yeah.
is what saves the day.
It's a good reminder that even when things are dark,
Yeah.
the truth can come out.
And you know what?
What?
This whole book makes you really think about appearances.
It does, right?
Like how they can be so deceiving
Totally.
and how wanting everything to be perfect
Yeah.
could have terrible consequences.
It's a story that stays with you.
It does.
I'm so glad we did this deep dive.
Me too. What did you think?
It was amazing.
What was your favorite part?
That's tough. I think I'd have to say the final confrontation with Wheeler.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
Like, you could really feel the tension.
And the relief when he finally confessed.
Yeah, it was a long time coming.
What about you guys?
Yeah, what did you think?
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, we love hearing from you.
And be sure to share this deep dive with your friends, especially if they love mysteries.
Yes. Spread the word.
And one final thought for you.
Okay.
Bright Girl is a powerful reminder that even in the most perfect-looking places,
Yeah.
there could be darkness hidden underneath.
It makes you wonder what secrets are hiding right in front of us.
It does. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.
See you then. T8.